Aboru, aboye, aboye, aboshishe, ebore, eboye, eboye, eboisheshe. Nature is life, life is eternity. Breath is life, life is eternity. Ebore, eboye, eboye, eboisheshe. Little video around what we call ebo in our world in the ancient time, and what we call ebo in our world in this time. So this is a little video regarding ebo. It's a response to one of the sisters that want a video done on ebo. What is ebo? So what is ebo really? You know today we hear things about people need to go and rule. People need to go and rule ebo. Ebo is another ancient name for Eshu Odara. Another ancient name for Olodumare. Orisha Olodumare. Orisha Eshu Odara. That's another name for, so ebo is another name for Eshu Odara. Orisha Olodumare. That's the real meaning of ebo. So when we say we should go and rule, which means to go and make kind of sacrifice for whatever reason, this is dealing with making contact with Olodumare, making contact with Eshu Odara. So in a nutshell, ebo is another word for what we call obia. And obia is very kind of a goddess energy, female oriented principle. So, and it always has been like that for a while. Has been like that for a while. There's a reason. It's a reason for that, because the way the universe is being set or being designed. So ebo in a nutshell is more like a female principle, but it does not exclude men. So men shouldn't be, we've been saying for a while, this is not a competition at all. So get back straight to the point. Ebo is what we know as sacrifice or offering. But sacrifice is rooted in Eshu Odara or Eshu Orisha. And offering is rooted in Eshu Abore. So Eshu Abore and Eshu Orisha are the foundational principle behind what we call ebo today. So ebo is dealing with Eshumare, which has to do with rainbow. So every time you see rainbow in the skies, that is ebo you're actually looking at. Every time you see rainbow in the skies, that is ebo you're looking at. That was the original meaning of ebo before it's been corrupted. So the kind of ebo we're doing today is going to do with the real ebo that is always has been, always will be. Ebo means breath. We're talking about breath of life. So we already came with ebo, but ebo is not meant to be seen because breath is not seen yet. It powers everything. The reason why you see rainbow in the sky is because of ebo, which is we're saying the reason why you see rainbow in the skies once in a while is because of the breath. Ebo means breath, breath means spirit, and spirit means life. That's what we said earlier when we say aboru, aboye, aboye, aboshishe, ebore, eboiye, eboiye, eboisheshe. So ebo is dealing with isheshe. There will be a separate video on isheshe. So isheshe is dealing with primordialness, again dealing with rainbow. It's all about the rainbow, you see. So we already came here with breath. The ancestors that have performed the ebo, they know in this realm, they have made the ascension back to the what we call the spirit world, which is the rainbow world. They managed to ritualize their breath and turn it into crystal body, what we call the rainbow. That's when the ebo is carried out. So we have things we call ebo kankatin kagunlaya. The reason why we say that is like how to ritualize the breath, how to make a sacrifice, to turn the breath into rainbow. That's why it's called kanka. Kanka is something that is so big. It is so magnificently big. The magnitude is beyond description. That is what is called ebo kankatin kagunlaya. So all our ancestors that have made it to the rim, the true rim, aka the rim of the Most High Olodumare, they have performed the sacred ebo, and it has been accepted. So ebo is going to do with killing of animals or even killing of human beings to try to gain into some material gain. All these things that's already here, that's going to do ebo at all. That is fake. The real ebo, the imprint of ebo has already been instructed into our body. So when we actually want to make sacrifice or offering to the human body, which is the temple of the Most High Olodumare, that's how Olodumare communicates with us, through the imprint that was already implanted in our body. So this happens that when we put the plant's word, because the plant world is much more closer to humans than the animal world. You see, so when we ritualize the plant world, the spirit of this plant world is meant to communicate with the spirit inside our body. And hopefully that's what they're looking for the communion. So plant, that is that ebo, the food that we eat, to offer sacrifice to the deities in the body, goes this way. It is either that sacrifice is accepted, which is always has been the case when it comes to the living fruits and vegetables and herbs. They always find a way to atone the body, to atone, to appease the body. That is ebo being carried out. In the case of animals being killed and all these things that we witnessed for the last couple of 1,000 years, those sacrificed dead animals are not accepted in the body, which means that sacrifice or offerings to the deities in the body are not accepted. That's when the ebo is not being accepted. The pros and cons of not making ebo, not complying. When we say we're not complying or we comply with ebo, complying with ebo means to ritualize the plants, to make communion with the body. That is compliance. To ritualize the herbal word to make communion with the body. In the case of animals, it doesn't work like that. It will not work. It hasn't worked. It will not. That's the way things work. So that is the meaning of ebo in its true sense. It's dealing with obia, the true voodoo. To ritualize the breath to turn into the rainbow world, to ritualize the breath to turn into the crystal world. That we haven't been able to do for a while. The ancestors that have managed to do it, they are with Olodumare as we speak. They live forever, for eternity. That's why we say aboru, aboye, aboye, aboshishe, ebore, ebo iye, ebo iye, ebo isheshe. Not complying with the Most High is not a good thing. And that comes through the plant world. We have to ritualize through the plant world. Ashe.